What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome to our little corner of the internet. Today we're going to be watching a video titled Strange 1980s Trends We Thought Were Totally Normal, which I love these types of videos because it makes me think like what type of or what trends do we have now that are going to be strange in like 20-30 years. I bet there's a lot. But either way, let's see what this video is about.
In 1985, the clapper turned a simple lamp into a futuristic gadget. 2 years later, waterbeds made up roughly 1 out of every 5 mattresses.
I've seen this somewhere. I would love to have a waterbed. That looks so comfortable. I don't know why it's not a thing anymore. I think this video might explain it, but that looks really comfortable though, I can't lie.
Sales in America, and in millions of homes, popcorn ceilings were still being sprayed overhead because they were cheap, fast, and hid flaws well. That was the 1980s. If something felt modern, practical, or a little over the top, it quickly became part of the home. Here are the weirdest
I love everything fluffy, but I wouldn't go as far as a fluffy toilet though.
trends that took over American homes in the 1980s.
The human back. Its underlying muscle structure creates a surface of complex curves and contours. And to conform, a sleeping surface has to adapt to that unique design. No other bed can do that as well as a Big Sur waterbed. Right now,
By 1987, waterbeds made up roughly 22% of all mattress sales in America, which still sounds unbelievable.
That is so cool though. I really want one now. Why did they stop selling those? I've never even touched one. Have you ever seen a waterbed? Let me know in the comments below.
Now. Just seeing one made it feel like the future had landed in somebody's bedroom. But once a full-size waterbed was filled, it could weigh around 1,600 pounds. So once it was in place, it was staying there. You needed a heater because sleeping on cold water was miserable. And if that vinyl ever got punctured,
I mean, it depends. It depends. If you're in a hot, like it's a hot summer day. Ooh, I'll tell you. I mean, in Spain, we have very, very hot summers, as you might imagine. And I know a lot of states in America also have them. Imagine having a cool bed. I remember when I was a child, my mom used to put my bed sheets in the freezer before I go to bed, so that they'd be a little bit chilled because it was hot. Okay. So it doesn't sound that miserable. Depends.
you were not dealing with a bed anymore. You were dealing with a flood. In a lot of homes, especially over that floral living room couch, plastic covers were just part of the setup. The whole point was to protect the good furniture, especially in houses where that sofa was supposed to last for years. But sitting on it was another matter entirely. Every little move came with that squeaky sound. And in the summer, your legs could stick to it before long. A lot of us could probably still walk into mom's or grandma's house and find one there today.
But is like plastic, or is that for the look, for the style, or to save the couch? I don't get it.
You have 11 mute messages.
all right.
By the end of the 1980s, roughly 3 out of every 5 American homes had a standalone answering machine sitting next to the phone. The machine itself was simple. What made it memorable was the outgoing greeting. Families recorded songs, jokes, sound effects, and little comedy routines that were funny once and then played for every caller for the next 6 months. Sometimes the greeting ran so long, you almost forgot why you called in the first place. That little beep was not just a signal. It was the start of a performance. Before you even sat down in some 1980s bathrooms, you had to deal with a fuzzy toilet lid cover that never wanted to stay up. These shaggy sets came with a lid cover and a matching rug around the toilet.
Okay, that's not that bad. The first was like the toilet, all of it being fluffy. That? I mean, if it was like white or brown in the bathroom, nah. No, that doesn't belong in the bathroom. No. And the floor thing? Yikes.
Exactly the kind of coordinated bathroom set Sears loved to sell. They were supposed to make the room feel soft, warm, and pulled together. But all that thick fabric was sitting in the one room in the house with the most moisture. Cozy was one word for it. Clean was another matter.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
The clapper was
I have seen these. I remember once I made a friend when I was young. I went to their house and they had clap on, clap off lights, and I thought it was the most genius thing ever. We became friends in one day. In the same day I went to see their house, and then we never talked again. I wonder how they're doing.
supposed to be the future of home automation, and when it came out in 1985, it really felt that way. The first time we saw somebody clap their hands and the lamp came on, it looked like pure magic. 2 claps turned on one device, 3 claps controlled another, and that clap on, clap off jingle got stuck in everybody's head. Of course, real life was less elegant. A dog barked, a door slammed, or the TV got loud, and suddenly the living room was making decisions on its own. Builders loved popcorn ceilings because they were cheap, fast, and great.
I mean, it's still really cool. It's still really cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having one in the bedroom. You know, you wake up, you go, and then poof. I like it.
At hiding every little flaw in the drywall underneath. They also absorbed sound, which made them seem even more practical. So in the 80s, they were everywhere. But they also trapped dust, grease, smoke, and all kinds of grime nobody talked about. And anybody who has ever tried scraping one off knows that what looked harmless overhead turned into one of the messiest jobs in the house. The Chia Pet showed up in 1982, and somehow a clay animal covered in sprouts became one of the strangest gifts in America.
A clay animal covered in sprouts. Bring that back. Like yesterday.
Here's a new pet.
Oh, and it grows. I love that.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy.
You soaked it, smeared on the chia seeds, set it in a sunny window.
You can grow chia seeds? Do they still sell those though? Because I'm gonna buy one.
And waited.
Retrojunk.com. Retrojunk.com. Do they still do they? Because I think I need one. A whole new world just opened for me. If you go and look for Chia Pets, they actually do still sell them. It's the same freaking company. And not only that, but they have, for example, Bob Ross. Can you see this? They have Bob Ross as a Chia Pet. You can grow Bob Ross's hair. They also have Ice Spice. What is this? What? This is the wildest thing, guys. They have things from Stranger Things. They have Gremlings. What? How? What? Do I have to buy a Chia Bob Ross now? They even have a bear. Guys. If my house starts filling up with different types of Chia Pets, don't blame me, okay? Don't blame this video. What?
Over the next week or two, it started growing what was supposed to look like fur or hair. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes one side flourished while the other side looked half bald. But that did not matter. Those little terracotta creatures ended up on kitchen counters and windowsills all over the country. The Flowbee was one of those inventions that sounded like a joke until you realized People really bought it. Patented in 1987 and pushed hard in 1988 infomercials,
that?
it hooked up to a vacuum cleaner and promised a neat haircut at home. The suction pulled the hair in while the blades trimmed it, and somehow that was supposed to replace a barber. Reviewers compared the sound to standing inside an airplane hangar, which tells you a lot. And yet, by 2000, around 2 million units had been shipped, and George Clooney still insists he has been using one for decades. Vertical blinds could be found on big windows all over America, and not one set ever seemed to work perfectly. Those long plastic slats hung from a track, turning with a wand or...
I remember these. These were so cool because you could turn them and then you could also pull them. I loved these as a child.
Opening with a pull chain, at least in theory. In real life, one slat was always crooked, the track jammed, and brushing past them meant hearing that familiar plastic clatter. Even when they were brand new, they looked one step away from falling apart.
True.
Glass block walls started showing up everywhere in the 80s, especially in bathrooms, entryways.
I love this style though. I don't know. I really like this. I've seen them obviously as well. I mean, they're still kind of like, you can see them everywhere.
And room
right?
dividers. Those thick translucent blocks let light through while still giving a little privacy, which made them feel modern and a little fancy. Builders loved to sell them as a Miami Art Deco touch. In practice, everything behind them looked blurred and underwater. For about $12, the Bedazzler could turn a plain pair of jeans into something that looked ready for the 80s. It was Ronco's rhinestone and stud setter, and the idea was...
A Bedazzler? I need one. To bedazzle?
Simple. Line it up, squeeze, and hope for the best. The problem was, every mistake was permanent too. The infomercials showed...
I don't care. There's no mistakes, only happy accidents. This is why I skip the ads when I watch the video. This is the reason why. But I do think I need one.
Neat little patterns, but real life usually meant crooked studs, snagged fabric, and more sparkle than anyone planned.
Can there ever be enough sparkle or fluff? I don't think so.
If something in the house could be coated in brass, the 1980s usually found a way to do it. Faucets, lamps, cabinet pulls, towel racks, all of it got that warm gold finish. It was meant to make a home feel a little more upscale, and for a while, it did. The problem was that brass showed fingerprints fast and tarnished just as quickly. Keeping it shiny became its own chore. Ginsu knives were one of the great infomercial success stories of the era, and the funny part is, they were not even Japanese. They were made in Ohio and given a name that simply sounded exotic enough to sell. The commercials were unforgettable, slicing through cans, shoes, and hoses, then turning around and cutting a tomato paper thin.
In Japan, the hand can be used like a knife. But this method doesn't work with a tomato. That's why we use the Ginsu.
That drama moved an estimated $75 million worth of knives. In a regular kitchen, they were fine, especially for bread or tomatoes. But the real genius was not the blade. It was the marketing. Mood rings felt like they were reading your soul.
I've had one. I remember these.
Even though all they were really doing
Really cool.
was reacting to temperature. That did not stop us from staring down at our hand all day, waiting for the color to change and trying to remember what each shade was supposed to mean. Calm, nervous, romantic, mysterious. The ring always seemed to know more than it actually did. That little shift in color was enough to make the whole thing feel almost magical. And for a while, that was more than enough. By the mid-1980s, a narrow strip of wallpaper near the ceiling somehow became the finishing touch every room needed. Kitchens got fruit, bathrooms got seashells, nurseries got teddy bears, and living rooms got ivy. It was meant to add a little personality without covering the whole wall. In
It's not the worst idea. I don't necessarily think that style would, you know, do much for me, but it's not the bad. It's a cool idea.
1985, Worlds of Wonder released Teddy Ruxpin, and for kids it felt like the future of toys had arrived. You put a cassette in.
Just yesterday, I learned that the name Teddy comes from a president of the United States. The name Teddy from teddy bear, you know, like that's why teddy bear is called a teddy bear. Anyways.
Into his back, pressed play, and his mouth and eyes moved along with the story. In theory, it was amazing. In practice, the timing could drift, the blinking could get strange, and when the batteries ran low, that friendly voice could slow down into something straight out of a nightmare.
No.
The bear sold about 5 million units in it.
It's a bear. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. We've had 3 bear videos in a row, guys. We're on a roll.
Its first 2 years, which means a whole lot of American kids had one sitting in the room with them after dark. That was the magic of the 1980s. So many of these trends were impractical, over-designed, or just plain ridiculous, but at the time, they felt completely normal. And that is exactly why we still remember them. If this brought back
Honestly,
some memories, subscribe to Memory Trails for more nostalgic trips like this. And if there is an 80s trend I missed, tell me in the comments, because I know there are a few more out there we have not forgotten yet.
So, what I was gonna say is, honestly, I don't know, I mean, advertisements and all of that are pretty good nowadays too, but guys, do you, like the TV advertisements, like the you know, the channels where you could just see advertisements, those were deadly. When you would have like people like, you know, show you like, this is the mop I use every day, look at how it works, and then they're like perfect, and they just like, and then you can call them and ask questions. Thank goodness I didn't have adult money when that was a thing, because I would be, I don't know, I would be in debt. But either way, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really hope you liked it. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.